I absolutely love this Helikon Swagman as a hammock pod. It's actually got some designs, features especially for it, like these clips over here, and you essentially hang it in its blanket configuration. You draw the drawstring up here, you attach it to your anchor and pull the drawstring tight so that it makes a good cinch. Now under here I've now got a foot pocket which I've filled with my sleeping bag at the moment that my feet are in because I'm sitting straddling the hammock with my legs down, and from this it's a very nice position for glassing. So then I've got my tarp roll here, and that goes in behind me as a neck roll, so it supports my neck, and I can then lock my hands in place and be glassing very comfortably. So this similar little elastic as the front, so this means I can sit back here. This is over my shoulders, but I've got my hands free to work, and a nice little sort of working area here where I can put small parts. At the same time, my back is nice and protected. And the other cool thing that you can do with a hammock, and this one, Amazonas Ultralight, is particularly good for that. If you have a thin hammock and you're careful with it, is actually for medical reasons. So last night we had Kyt, who was very a bit sore in the back from all the flying, so I had her sit upright like this in the hammock, and I could then get at her spine and all of her tight muscles really just through the hammock, and I was able to release a whole lot of tension with her just sitting in the hammock relaxing. And the other concept is that you can use this thing, of course, in a tree stand, or just on the bottom of any tree, that you can attach both ends of it quite close together, so you have it hanging through like this, and then just sit in it like I am now. Makes a very secure tree anchor. It makes a very good way of lifting someone, and particularly if you've got someone who's got some kind of let's say they've fallen a long way, there's some kind of reason why they need to be sat upright so that they can breathe more comfortably, then you can actually put a big pole along this and use it to carry someone out. So very many reasons to have a really little hammock and this really nice Helikon Swagman bedroll. It's definitely water repellent. It's got pencott green. I'd love to see it in con camo, because pencott green kind of hurts my eyes, but you know, whatever. It's definitively damp resistant. It's really pretty good weather resistant. For those of you, I mean, I take a 3x3 tarp. There's my wine for later. But yeah, I take a 3x3 tarp and I either, so I have it rolled up as a bedroll, as a neck roll, or I put it across 3x3. But if it's very, very badly windy, and especially in the winter, you may actually be better cocooning the bedroll here in a much tighter little packet. So really just put a ridgeline up, put the tarp and just wrap it, cinch it right down and not have it be flapping around, just put it as a pod. And the other thing I have with me is the Kyt Hunka extra large bivy bag, monstrously breathable, quite thin and a bit fragile, so when you use it outdoors you just need to put something, or rather on the ground you need to put something underneath it, but it's very, very thin and it's quite large. So if the weather's really terrible, what I actually do is I get all the insulation, so the sleeping bag and the Swagman, with me inside the bivy bag, and then I cinch the bivy bag up around my neck, so then I've got the tarp, the bare hammock, and then I have my trusty green, you know, Z-Rest mattress down here. That goes, that actually goes in the hammock to help with the compression, so you do get a bit colder. But if the problem is more about just drenching rain and it getting underneath the tarp, and you don't want to soak the Swagman, which would be silly, then you basically just put all the insulation inside the something big bivy bag like an Alpkit hunker, and you might be tempted to say, oh yeah, well what if you put a bivy around the whole hammock as well? The problem with that is that you have entry and exit points, so you have water, and yes, you can tell me everything you want about drip rings and blah blah blah. The kind of weather that we're talking about is when the condensation and the moisture is so much that the air inside of the tarp is also just condensing and running. So I had this in the Alps when I did my 7-day tour. So really then the best bet is to get all of your insulation inside the bivy bag, and then wriggle in, stand up with it closed around your neck, and then get into the hammock with all that intact. The other advantage that has is that when you get out again, right, your insulation is never getting wet, so you are going in there in your base layer and warm socks, dry socks, and for the 5 seconds it takes for you to do that, it doesn't matter if it's open a bit, then you sleep it dry, and then you're getting out back into your outdoor clothes, but you can keep all of your insulation inside this breathable, waterproof liner all the time, including when you pack it. So then what I do when I pack it is I just squish the entire thing down, bivy bag and all, and sometimes I use some compression straps, and if I don't have compression straps, you can use just paracord with trucker's hitches just to compress the whole thing inside the bivy bag down into a manageable packet, so you can carry it watertight no matter what. So that's kind of similar to the Arctic bed. And in the Arctic bed system you have a kind of zip round bag, and you leave your mattress inflated and your sleeping bag in the same kind of zip thing. In the morning you just zip it closed. There's no stuffing and unstuffing sleeping bags with that system. It's quite good. So anyway, there you have Sleep Systems 2.0, and I'm enjoying having a look at this marvellous garden. Yesterday we had a stone marten, I had a little hedgehog wandering around here, and I had plenty of birds. We've had an awesome day one of Mantracking with Kyt Lyn Walken. She totally knows her stuff. I took absolutely lots of footage, and so you'll get a good flavour of it, but I can tell you now, well impressed. So that's us for now, and hope you have a good night. I'm going to check out some of this nice wildlife, enjoy my comfortable hammocks lounger, and then when I'm all done lounging I'll just sort of slide into this thing diagonally as you do. So this is the right angle, right between ridge line and suspension line if you want to be comfortable. That happens also to be the right angle for sitting upright in it as I'm doing now. It's the right angle for sleeping in it. If in doubt, make it a little bit looser so you can really get the experience of feeling what it's like to lie on the flat, so you realise you can. And then, just enjoy.